Right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're dissecting an absolute operational powerhouse. We are looking at supply reconciliation automation, or SRA for short, which is rapidly emerging as the ultimate weapon for protecting grocery store profitability. And it does it right at the point of entry, the receiving dock. If you want to understand exactly how a modern grocery operation secures its bottom line before a single product ever hits the shelf, well, you're in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive into this by contrasting two very different realities. The old process of grocery receiving is, frankly, a bit of a chaotic nightmare. An invoice arrives, a receiver performs manual line-by-line checks, relies on mental math to figure out pricing, and ultimately vital inventory data is delayed. Conversely, the SRA process completely flips this script and with astonishing speed. You process the invoice digitally, the system automatically reconciles the data, updates your inventory, and crucially, it protects your margin automatically. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the grocery receiving nightmare, then enter the SRA workflow. After that, we'll look at the dashboard and exception handling, seamless real-time item edits, the margin protection advantage, and finally, system-wide downstream value. Section 1. The grocery receiving nightmare. Picture this for a second. Stacks of taper invoices, chaotic clipboards scattered everywhere in a frantic environment. In this traditional setup, cost changes frequently go entirely unnoticed, which is a silent profit killer eroding store margins day by day. Staff are spending hours on time-consuming manual item matching, but honestly, here is the most surprising, painful operational reality of it all. While your staff are bogged down in 1 to 3 hours of manual paperwork, frozen and refrigerated goods are literally sitting on the dock, melting. The urgency of the cold chain directly conflicts with the paperwork. When it comes to receiving, speed isn't just some nice-to-have luxury, it's absolutely critical to product integrity and your bottom line. Section 2. Enter the SRA workflow. The entire philosophy of this platform can really be summed up in this single powerful mandate: moving receiving from warehouse-dependent manual labor into system-guided operational leverage. You see, SRA is not designed to remove humans from the receiving dock. Not at all. Rather, it's carefully engineered to remove the low-value, repetitive data entry work so that your staff can retain authority over critical decisions and actually focus on high-value operations. Section 3. Dashboard and exception handling. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer visibility it gives you. This main receiving dashboard completely replaces that old paper and memory model with immediate, actionable data. Scanning the interface, right at the top, management gets a crystal clear operational view. 14 open shipments, 8 reconciled. Down below, you see the comprehensive vendor list, detailing entry dates and total item counts. But really focus your attention on the status indicators over on the right. Notice those columns tracking differences found and the prominent red flagged status buttons. Instead of asking what needs to be received or constantly wondering where the errors might be hidden, the system is literally pointing at exactly which shipments require human intervention. So you click into one of those flagged shipments and it brings you right to the exception check. In grocery receiving, roughly 90% of items are perfectly routine. The massive drain on labor comes from manually hunting for that 10% with issues. Notice how the system has automatically surfaced these exceptions for you here. That green highlighted row indicates a new item that needs a UPC created, while the red highlighted row immediately alerts you to a significant cost change. In this case, the case cost jumping up to $44. By automatically filtering out all those routine, everyday items, SRA compresses what used to be an hour of tedious line-by-line checking into mere minutes of highly focused, high-value review. Section 4. Seamless real-time item edits. Take a good long look at the architecture of this item edit workflow. Over on the left, vital product info, case sizes, and base costs are neatly organized. But the truly revolutionary feature for dock operations is on the right side of the screen, the price adjustment section. When a vendor changes a cost, receiving staff no longer have to perform mental math or scramble for a calculator while the delivery driver is impatiently breathing down their neck. The price ladder there offers immediate, pre-calculated pricing options based entirely on your store's target margins. Want a 35% margin? The system tells you the exact retail price is $4.99. Target 45%, it's $5.99. It is the ultimate convenience. It completely eliminates the guesswork and manual calculations on the fly, making margin protection essentially effortless. Section 5. The margin protection advantage. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate defense mechanism of the SRA platform, the dedicated margin check. Look at the visual data grouped at the top left. The system confirms 141 items are safely above your margin threshold, but it has specifically isolated 19 warnings and 9 critically low margin items. Direct your attention to that red-flagged cacao apple smoothie. You can clearly see the current margin has abruptly dropped 28.4% due to a vendor cost increase. Directly next to it, in green, the system provides a brilliantly convenient suggested retail price of $3.29 to instantly correct the issue. Think about that. This protects your profitability before the item ever even hits the shop floor. The crucial takeaway here is that by establishing a target margin, say 45%, the system automatically guides your staff to hit their specific profitability targets every single time. It turns what used to be complex, somewhat risky pricing decisions into a single, confident click. There's simply no more selling below target margin just because someone forgot to update the retail price after a sudden cost increase. Section 6. System-wide downstream value. Let's move to and see how this value multiplies across the entire store ecosystem. It builds like this. Step 1. SRA establishes perfectly clean receiving data right at the door, accurate costs, precise receiving dates, and protected margins. Step 2. This pristine data automatically feeds into your buyer decision support and purchase order logic. Suddenly, your buyers are working with perfect velocity and cost data. Step 3. This empowers your missing on shelf tools and ensures your sign builder is printing perfectly accurate tags based on those newly adjusted prices. Basically, SRA acts as the foundational intake layer that strengthens absolutely every other inventory and ordering tool in the building. So we conclude with a vital question for any grocery executive or operational manager watching this. Is your receiving dock actively protecting your margins, or is it just slowly, manually processing paper while your profits quietly slip away? By modernizing your intake with a platform like SakuraRonin, you literally transform a historic operational vulnerability into your greatest advantage. Thank you for joining me on this explainer.